What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 21 of Hit the Books. The regular season has concluded in the NFL, and the boys are ready for the playoffs. Wildcard weekend this weekend. The NHL and NBA are in full swing, and we got some news to share this week in both of those leagues. Beyond that, we can't forget about the MLB as that's right around the corner with spring training starting soon. Second episode of the year, and 2023 is treating us looking good with our plays coming out in the NBA, NHL, and college basketball each and every night. Stay tuned for those all over our social media accounts. This week, we also introduced a new addition to the podcast. More on that later. But we got some big news to start off the podcast. We announced a giveaway today on our Instagram, a jersey giveaway. Do a few things and possibly enter to win a jersey. We're very excited about this, and the boys will elaborate more on that. It's time. Let's jump into the action, starting with introducing my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Mackie, let's start off with you this week. How's it going? Back into the swing of things. How's it going?
Yeah, another week. Just had a pretty bad week in the NFL this week. Last few weeks I have ended up finishing only a little over 5 units, I think. But it's alright. I bounced back into playoffs. Playoffs is where we make our real money. Like you said, we got our first giveaway. It's a big step for us as a podcast. It's just trending in the right direction. And it's big news from us. Other than that, not much going on. Huff, Ace, what do you guys got going on?
Yeah, Ace, let's send it over to you. What's happening, my man?
Nothing too new happening over here. Just enjoying my Boston Bruins continuing to be the best team in the National Hockey League, and a bit disappointed with the Patriots' end to a weird season, to say the least. Definitely looking forward to the playoffs here. My favorite time of the year. I've been saying that for a while now, but this winter season really is full swing of hockey, basketball, and football. And now we get to see the best of the best duke it out to see who can come back with that Lombardi. Like Mackie said, tough week on the books for all of us. I mean, I finished just a little bit less than 1 unit negative for the week. So nothing too crazy. I think I was joking with Huff. I was like, it kind of sucks. We don't have any Monday Night Football. We can't bail ourselves out this week and end in the plus side. But so I guess that really means we got to hunker down on these remaining games that we have left and make sure we're hitting the right stuff. Ready to talk some football this week, though. It should be a good one.
Yes, sir. I think we're all excited about the playoffs, but let's shoot it over to Huff last but not least. How's it going? Hope you're having a good week, buddy.
Yeah, everything's been all right here. Ace said it best. Kind of a tough week in the NFL. Obviously, week 18, a lot of unpredictables going into a lot of those games, and some of the meaningful ones, more of the ones that I tended to lean on this week. But tough week. I think I went 2-2 or 2-3. I don't really remember, but looking forward to the playoffs right now. So nothing but wild card picks. I've been looking at that for a couple of days now. So. I'm excited to get into the NFL playoffs that we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks. Finally here, so definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, the NFL playoffs are here, and we will get to that, but not without first heading into our other leagues, including the NHL, NBA, and MLB this week. Let's start off in the NHL. We have the All Star Game rosters have been announced for all the divisions, and then the last 3 picks from each team will be decided by the fan vote announced on January 19th. Voting ends January 17th. Lots of good players on these lists. I don't know if I want to read through all of them, but some big names coming out of the Metro: Crosby, Giroux, Hughes, Ovechkin, Shesterkin, Atlantic, Kucherov, Marner, Suzuki, Omar, Central. Lots of good players coming out of all these different divisions. I don't need to go through all of them, I don't think, but anything on that, boys? All-Star Game coming up here soon.
Definitely excited to watch that. I think of the current pro sports All-Star type games, this might be one of the most competitive. I think their switch to 3-on-3 really helped that, and the tournament style they have, and a great skills weekend too. That's what I look forward to. Just hoping Pasternak can get in that final vote. Definitely deserves it, but with the way Omar's playing, I mean that's tough.
Where is the All-Star Game this year?
I think it's in Florida. South Florida, I believe.
Yeah. All-Star, like you said, it's definitely one of the more competitive All-Star games, but All-Star games are so washed out anymore nowadays. Like, I feel like it was something I was super into as a kid. And like last year, I tried to watch that All-Star game, and it's like they have my attention with the 3-on-3 and stuff, but it's like when the final score at the end, I know it's 3-on-3, it's like 11-8 in some of these games. It's like, I don't know, it's just tough, but I definitely tune in every year. It's whether it's something I can sit down and watch for 3 hours like a normal NHL game. I don't know about that.
I'm more of a skills competition day fan, and I think it's pretty cool when you can find the books that have the props for those type of competitions.
But like even last year when it was in Vegas and like one of the skills competition was the saucer passing, they're launching passes
Outdoors.
in the middle of the fountain. I'm like, can we? If I'm gonna be betting on this, can we put this in an ice rink?
That's
such a Vegas. That's what the Winter Classic's going to be like next year.
Literally. Yeah, a lot of big names here getting their first appearance in the All Star Game. Shesterkin out of New York, Olmark out of Boston, Thompson out of Vegas here. 3 goalies out of the 4. Saros getting his second appearance here. So lots of big names getting a first appearance here. Lots of good stuff to see. All right, Ace, I'm going to send it over to you. How we been doing in the NHL lately here on the card and such?
Yeah, been very well on the card lately. Definitely be checking out our socials as we're posting plays almost daily for the NHL, and the other leagues especially. But besides checking out for that giveaway, definitely check for those NHL picks. The last few days on Monday, we ended up going 1-1 in the NHL, picking up just under a tenth of a unit there. But yesterday, really having a big day in the NHL, just missing on Yote's money line. Hit on the Rangers. We hit an over in those 2 young offenses with Seattle and Buffalo. And the Stars really pulled through. I know Huff was on them heavy. Nice shootout win, 2 of them last night.
Yeah, those plays last night, I definitely would have liked the Yotes to bring that one home for me, but win some.
What'd you miss out on? Like 7K, 27K,
2,500, yeah.
Jeez.
Yotes money line was the last leg.
At home underdogs too. That's your favorite.
Yep. Couldn't do it for me. I
the other
texted
one-
Mackie
500.
I texted Mackie
other
going
ones-
into the third. I'm like, it comes down to the Yotes at Mullet Arena, and we're like, we got this.
I really thought they had it too. 9 seconds into the fucking third quarter, and they fucking gave up a goal. That was a real heartbreaker. I really didn't have much confidence after that one. They really had no spark in them.
When they got the 2 power plays, I was like, maybe if they score a power play goal, we can take this thing to overtime. But I didn't like their chances to win it.
Yeah, it was just they weren't there last night.
Mac, your Rangers that made us sweat it out last night with the shootout win, they've been playing some good hockey lately, though. I think they're 12-2-2 in their last 16.
Yeah, they're winning some games. Shesterkin gave up a few bad goals last night. She honestly should have won that game in regulation, but boys kept grinding. Boys looked really good last night. They were playing some really good offense, something we really haven't seen a ton of this year. So it's nice to see that side of the Rangers once in a while and bailing Shesterkin out.
Yeah, they picked up their jump in the standings too. I think they're up to second place just behind the Carolina Hurricanes. That was my preseason pick besides the Bruins to make some noise in the NHL, and they've been really doing so. Kind of the Devils falling off a bit. I know they won the other night.
I'm looking at the standings right now. Devils are still 2 points ahead of the Rangers.
Yeah, Devils still have the Rangers.
And they have a game. They have a game
the
in
other
hand
day. They
on
went
them.
third.
The Rangers
They both
played
won
42.
last night. Yeah, that loss to them in a shootout when they were up 3-1 kind of blew that for them. But overall, we're staying afloat. I think we'll end up above the Devils by the end of the season. We just gotta hang with Carolina. We're not really far behind Carolina either, so they're on a bit of a skid right now. We got to take advantage.
That just shows you how deep the East is. Like in this scenario, the Penguins and Islanders 48 and 47 points. Both would be in a playoff spot in either division in the West.
Yeah, the East is way more
The Capitals are
than the West.
You got some teams pushing for those final seeds too. The Capitals, the Panthers, the Sabres.
The two that have kind of screwed everyone's preseason predictions up are definitely the Sabres. I mean, they're a young team. I don't think anyone predicted them to make the playoffs. And when they had that hot start, I heard a lot of people be like, okay, they're going to fall off. They're going to fall off. It's like, no, this is a really good young team that, yeah, like usual. And this is a pretty good young team. I like what they have going up there. And the other one's obviously the Devils, who's an even higher or has an even better record with the amount of points, 55 points. But I don't know. I'm still not sold on this Devils team.
Me either.
Yeah,
No
they
chance.
they definitely hit a peak. They're on their way down, but I mean they're still.
I keep
competitors.
betting against them, and it seems like every time I bet against them, they'll be on like a game. They'll have lost their last game. I'm like, all right, they're in like the game they were in Carolina the other night. I took Carolina, boom, fucking lost. I'm like, fuck.
Same.
Yeah, I liked them last night though. Carolina's sliding right now. Kochekov's playing really bad hockey, and they keep playing him. So
they need to rush Freddie Anderson back. He's so
they
close.
do
They
at this
said,
point. Kochekov is falling off fucking. He's falling off a mountain right now.
And Ronta's not much better. Or hasn't
No.
been lately. But yeah, out east definitely things tightening up, and we talk about the Bruins in that Atlantic Conference often. And then out west, I think the Oilers are back into a playoff spot, just barely sitting in a wild card. That was one of our preseason picks as well. And then someone that's surprising out there to me is the Los Angeles Kings, and the Seattle Kraken, of course.
I don't like the Kings.
Seattle's in a 3
They're
spot.
second in the Pacific, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
I'm actually a fan of the Kings. I like that. They're a young team. They definitely.
I feel like
slept on.
Mackey throws the Kings on the picks a lot.
Dude, I love the Kings. I like that young team. And Felix Copley, their goalie's
He's playing well.
He's playing some good hockey. You just gotta ride the hot hand. That team all around is pretty good. I mean, they outplay some of the better teams in the league consistently. So that's why I've been riding that team. Their line's still a little. They don't get the respect that they deserve in Vegas yet. I don't think so. That's why I've been riding them a lot lately.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, they're anchored by those two staples of their offense with Drew Doughty on the back end and Anze Kopitar up front. And you add a bunch of young talent around them. I know they have names like Arvidsson, Dano, there's some few others, Kempe maybe.
Kaliev. I mean, dude, the young talent over there.
They have Iafallo as well, maybe.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They got a lot of young talent over there that goes unnoticed. That's why I've been really riding that team this year. They're doing well for me.
Yeah, they might be the biggest surprise out west, and then I believe the Stars, the Knights, everybody else we kind of expected to be there is there. Seattle Kraken,
all
like
good teams.
We've touched on them. We actually throw the Kraken on the card a lot, I feel. Matty Beniers on a 5-game goal streak. He's really been carrying the load out there. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season comes out west. No clear-cut big dog out there. Waiting for Colorado to hit its stride.
They fucked me last night too against the Panthers.
They started down low, and then did they tie it up late and then lose in overtime?
I don't think
they lost in overtime, but they tied it 4-4 and they were down 5-4 in regulation still.
They were down 4-1 at one point, and
they tied it up, tied it 4-4, but I think they lost in regulation still.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to hit their stride with the Nate Dogg back. I mean,
I don't know, man. They're not what they used to be.
Yeah, but that West is so weak. I think the Wild might be starting to turn the corner too. They're playing better hockey.
You say what they used to be, like you mean like 6 months ago?
Yeah. Well, they won the Stanley Cup the last 2 years.
I mean, for the past few years, they've been favorites to win the cup the last 2-3 years, at least 2 years. I know.
You're saying they shouldn't be the perennial favorite again to win the cup.
Well, I mean, last year Daryl Suter said it best. I mean, you're going into a series against Colorado, it's a waste of 8 days, and it was. That's not even close to the case this year. I mean, they're very beatable.
Well, they lost so much in free agency they couldn't afford it. They lost like Kemper, Kadri.
Kadri was a huge loss, man.
Burakovsky. Well, Kemper's a big loss too. He's playing good hockey.
I think they upgraded in the goaltending department.
I don't think so. I'm not a fan of Georgia.
I think a lot of people would say that too. I've heard a lot of people say that actually. The goaltending is definitely not the problem with them this year. They're just not
goal scoring.
It's goal scoring, and I mean, other than Cale Makar, that team's just the back end isn't very good either. I mean.
No. Well, I just think losing so much up front, that kills you. Like the depth, especially a second line center that can carry the load.
Yeah, they definitely got some problems over there going on. So it'll be nice to see what they do with this team for the rest of the season.
Card sitting at a plus 11.8 units.
Let's
too,
go.
Not to mention that.
That's huge.
I mean, it's eating. So definitely follow.
Yes, please follow that. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter to get those each and every night. Lots of good stuff out of that. Let's push
NBA cards had a little bit of a slip the past couple of weeks, the past couple of days. But on Monday, I think it was Monday, Ace, we went to 2-0. So we got a couple plays out tonight. I think Washington's getting ready to get going in about an hour or so. And then the other game is Celtics at 7 as well, Ace.
I believe it might be 7:30. It's funny that we ran
7:30.
back the same exact parlay
Dude,
it
it was so sick. It was so sick when I made the card. I didn't even have to change anything. I just changed the lines real quick.
How funny is that?
Yeah.
Alternate spreads coming out to about the same lines, That's crazy. You don't see that a lot, but
It's a little
I like those
steeper
two.
today, but when they're
Yeah,
both
those are-
home, they can cover those numbers.
I like the Grizzlies with Ja, obviously, and high-flying offense, especially against a weak team in the Spurs. And then, the Celtics, Jason Tatum's going to win the MVP this year, so he's going to keep balling out. I think that card's sitting at just below +7 units on the year, though, so it's in a good spot. This is a big night tonight. We'll either get us to that double-digit range or put us back down to 5, so need some hits.
Nice little segment there for the NBA, but let's push ourselves over to the MLB. First point I got here is that free agent Justin Turner to the Red Sox. Turner's deal is for 1 year and includes a player option for 2024. Some good news there for your Boston Red Sox there, Ace. What do you got for us there?
Yeah, pretty under the radar move in my opinion. They really needed to bolster their lineup after letting almost everybody go. So add him with Devers, and that'll be a nice piece. Championship pedigree, so we love to have that on the big stage, especially coming out of LA. I think the bigger news for Red Sox is Trevor Story going to be missing most of the season with knee surgery, I believe. So definitely going to have to monitor the way the Red Sox handle things.
I didn't see this Justin Turner move, but I like it. I mean, you guys had to do something big after getting rid of Xander Bogaerts. So, nice
JD
piece to add to this team. And JD, yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, you guys weren't really trending in the right direction anyway. You guys were kind of in the midst of a rebuild. You need to get rid of some of those players, clear up some space, and now the team's going to start rolling again. Boston won't be bad for a while, so give it a year or two, maybe even this year. So
the thing I always say, which is weird and kind of true, the Red Sox usually, when they're supposed to be really good, they're not. In my lifetime, they suck, like last year. And then when they're supposed to be terrible, they're great and win the World Series, like in 2013.
I was going to say, yeah. Even that team, even that team 3 years ago, was it 2018? I thought it was 2019.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Yeah, that team wasn't supposed to be that good, though, was it?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's weird how...
That's baseball, though.
Expectations are another thing,
That's baseball. I feel like a lot of the team that's supposed to be good going into the year, I feel like never really wins it.
Yeah,
so
but the Red Sox go to miss the playoffs. I think that the year they won the World Series last in 2018, the year previous, they came in second and last in the league or something like that, and they had a top pick.
Yeah, I feel like the Red Sox do that a good amount, actually. But that's just baseball in general. I feel like teams could be good in the snap of their fingers.
Yeah, I think the bigger news Jesse's about to allude to in the MLB right now.
Yeah, the Carlos Carrera story. He's now going back to the Twins, passing his physical there. Let's go over the whole, timeline. December 13th, he signed a 13-year, $350 million deal with the Giants. His introductory press conference was abruptly canceled amid reports concerned regarding his physical. December 21st, an incredible pivot saw him agree to a 12-year, $315 million contract with the Mets, again, pending a physical. But now he's sitting here back with the Twins, 6-year deal here with him and the Twins. What do you guys think about that one? Pretty roller coaster of a story here for him, sitting there in Minnesota.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously mixed emotions about this. I'm actually kind of happy about it. There's just way too many uncertainties with this guy. I saw a clip of him sliding into second base at the end of last year, and he's clear discomfort in his back, and a disc plate is never anything to fuck around with. So, gonna offer the man $350 million. Better make sure he's 100%. So, I like the fact that they pulled it. Obviously, a good player and it's someone we're gonna miss not having in the roster. But you can do something else with that money. See what else we can do. I'm not necessarily upset about it.
Yeah, I mean the Twins kind of luck out there. I don't know what price they end up getting at. Jesse, did you say that again?
I actually couldn't really find a solid number.
6 years, $215 million, I think.
So they had $135 million discount.
Yeah, but less years. I mean, per year, it's basically.
Oh, it's about the same. What was his
I
contract
think it's
with the Mets? How long? 9?
It was 12, I think. 12 for like $340, and now he's doing 6 for like. If I'm not wrong, I think it's like $215. So I think he's making way more per year now. It's just
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's right around 200. I thought I saw like 33 million average.
I was surprised. I mean, obviously, I don't know. The way this whole situation happened, I was pretty surprised to see the Twins kind of give him that money and bring him back. But I don't know. The Twins, they have a pretty good team, and that AL Central is kind of a weak division right now, or at least coming into this season. And I think they looked at it as, all right, let's just get our guy back locked up. They had him from the Astros for how many seasons? Just keep him in Minnesota. Obviously, I don't know. At first, I was kind of questioning why they brought him back, and this is kind of how I talked myself back into it. That division is just on the downward slope, and I think they're looking at got to pay someone because, I mean, they have players in Minnesota, but they don't really have that true like star that you're like, oh yeah, the Twins are coming to town. I can't wait to go see player X, Y, and Z. I don't know. I think this was a good move for them, but from the Mets standpoint, Mackie, I kind of agree with you. I think this dude, I would rather lean on the side that things aren't 100% if you're the Mets and just handing out that much money for that long. This is something this could have been one of those contracts that come back and haunt the Mets for 10 years, 5 years down the road.
Being a Mets fan, this is exactly the type of contract that would end up killing us in the end. But the stats behind it, Mets offered him 12 years, $315 million, and the Twins gave him 6 years and $200 million. So he's making, average annual value, he's making way more with the Twins. But the longer this thing just held out, the more it was setting up for it to just sit in Twins' lap. I mean, they really had no other decision than to just sign this man to a 6-year contract and just get it over with.
I was actually looking at the odds for the Twins to win their division. I think they're plus 450.
Behind who? The Guardians? It's the only other team that's really competitive.
I think they're both like plus 400,
division's
450.
Terrible. The Guardians have great pitching.
Guardians are a good team. I think they can be pretty good this year, win the division again. I don't think the Twins are consistent enough to Well,
the White Sox Guardians, are supposed to be good,
dude.
The White Sox are unloading everything.
They're supposed to be good every year. I mean, they have that owner who wants to see a championship before he dies, and I think he's like 98 years old, so he's just going all in. But I mean, they're just not every.
They just traded Abreu. Didn't they just get rid of Abreu?
No, didn't they just make a big signing too?
Dang, did I see something? I don't know. I swear I saw Abreu left. I think he's an Astro. Jose Abreu.
Jose Abreu is gone, yeah, but I think they signed somebody. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Jose Abreu's an Astro. I like him a lot. That's why I like him. They still have Tim Anderson.
Yeah, he's good. And they have the pitching. Giolito.
Yeah, I like Giolito too. They have a nice. I went to. Yeah, when I went, I kind of like the White Sox. They were the first away MLB park I went to, so that was kind of a sweet. I saw them play.
They went to the south side.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty sick, actually. The entire time I was walking around Chicago, everyone was asking me if the Cubs played tonight because I was wearing a White Sox hat. I bought it that morning because we were going to the game, and I'm like, no, is that all these people care about is the Cubs? It's actually crazy.
Nobody gives a fuck about the Astros. I mean, about the White Sox, bro. Nobody goes to that side of town.
It's crazy. Everyone's Cubs fans. Especially
it's
now,
like Yankees and Mets. Nobody's a Mets fan.
The Cubs are going to win out of the NL Central this year.
Mac, you just call yourself a nobody?
I called Mets fans kind of irrelevant in New York, yeah. Which, I'm speaking facts. I'm just...
Nice stuff.
You don't think the Cubs could win the NL Central this year, Mac?
No, I think the Cardinals are going to be dogs this year, and the Brewers always hold their own. I just... Cubs could be good. They could be a wild card team, but the Cardinals are good, dude. Cardinals are so good.
Cardinals are always good.
I know. I like the Cardinals. I literally like every team in our division, but which doesn't really
you
make
just
sense.
Can't like them. I mean, it's not like you guys are competitive, so you can.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and I got one more point here out of the MLB. For the 2023 opening day, the Detroit Tigers have decided to adjust their outfield dimensions. The center field wall will be adjusted to 412 feet. Additionally, the height of the outfield wall in multiple key areas will be lowered. Most notably, above the out-of-town scoreboard will be lowered from 13 feet to 7 feet, and as well as the foundation of the entire outfield wall will be reconstructed with material and padding that enhances player safety. I saw this and I just found it kind of interesting that they're totally adjusting their field. I feel like you don't hear this too often. Anything on this?
Hey, you know who else should do this? I think fucking Yankees over in right field.
Why?
Maybe they should extend a 318-foot wall where
They should stop cheating.
Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge can't hit line drives out of the park.
It's so iconic, but yeah, I agree. That'd be nice. I mean, then
No, yeah, I'm
what's next?
I'm
Ask the Red Sox to change Fenway and the Green Monster. Come on.
No,
Or
that's
just
not
build
an
a new
advantage. It's more of a
stadium.
disadvantage.
What was I gonna say? I remember one of my favorite sports memories. Actually, I was at a Yankees game and they were playing the Mariners for some reason with Ichiro in right field, and I think it was Alex Rodriguez hit a home run to right field, and everybody was going nuts. But Ichiro jumped the wall and robbed it. That was nuts on the short porch.
That's dope. Fuck A-Rod. No, I'm a big A-Rod fan, actually, but
Actually, yeah, me too. Are you kidding me? That's one of my favorite players of all time. Just hate that he went to the Yankees when he made his big choice for moving from Texas. But
Him and Jeter,
that's
man.
another story. Oh yeah. But no, Ichiro Suzuki, great Christmas play. Saw him play on the Marlins too, and when he was chasing that hit record, I went to like 3 games and when I was down there, and he didn't get it in any game. But we had the he got on the road, I think in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken.
What a pointless place to hit it.
Down that slide.
Good couple points there out of the MLB. Let's shift our focus over to the NFL. We got some news out of the NFL. Some possible Aaron Rodgers retirement, predictions coming up here. Some news after Sunday's season-ending loss to the Lions. The veteran quarterback did something that had people speculating about his future. The cameramen caught Lions. Jameson Williams asked Rodgers for his jersey after the game, to which the quarterback replied, "I'm going to hold on to this one." See what happens here with Rodgers coming into the offseason for himself. What do you guys think about this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's thinking about it, but I don't think this necessarily means that he's going to retire. I think it just means it's on the back of his mind, which obviously it is after a season like that and the age that he's sitting at and what he's done in his career in this league. But I don't think this really says anything in the grand scheme of things of whether he's going to retire or not. I just think I don't know. It could possibly be his last game, so he wanted to hold on to it. I don't know what you guys think about this.
I don't know. Part of me thinks this is Rodgers just being an asshole and James Williams is a rookie.
It also could just be him being an asshole, making people think and stuff.
That's a great point, Huff. I didn't think about him big leaguing the rookie like that.
Yeah, I think it's a total big league move. He's like, no. You're some rookie that just kicked me out of the playoffs. You're not getting this one. Maybe if the Packers won, he would have gave that one up.
He's probably just a bit salty about the way his season went.
Like you've heard Tom Brady in that moment. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sore loser. I don't like fucking losing.
A million times. He doesn't like playing football. I don't think. Definitely doesn't like losing in football.
Yeah, but I think I started thinking about it that way. I'm like, I think this was kind of like a big league move. He's like, no, fuck you, rookie. You just kicked me out of the playoffs. You think I'm some legend? You should have fucking let me win.
He's just going to go host some Celebrity Jeopardy and go on the Joe Rogan Experience, and then he'll be ready to play some football.
Because I thought Rodgers maybe took it as like, oh, yeah, he wants my fucking jersey to hang in his basement. Oh, this is the game we kicked eliminated Aaron Rodgers from the playoffs.
I just think he's way too competitive to end his career on a missed playoff opportunity. I don't know. It's pretty embarrassing.
I'm just so glad he doesn't have 2 Super Bowls.
Not yet.
He missed that chance when he went back there.
We'll see here what happens with Aaron Rodgers coming into the offseason, like I said. But we got some head coach firings. Black Monday came and went. We saw a few coaches take one for the team and get the boot. Cliff King's fired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. Lovie Smith for the Texans. Nathaniel Hackett here right after Christmas for the Broncos. What do we think about these teams letting these coaches go here, notably at the same time every year? What do you think?
I swear.
As expected.
Go ahead.
As expected, in my opinion. But let me hear what you guys have to say.
My favorite one was Lovie Smith winning the last game of the season to fuck over the Texans, #1 overall pick, and then they fired him. He knew he was fired anyway. So he was like, fuck this. I'm taking this #1 pick away from you guys. Fuck y'all.
I genuinely think he would have kept his job if he lost that football game. Because, you don't, as an organization, dude, you don't want to fire a head coach 2 years in a row at the end of the season. And they fired a head coach last season. This is his first year. It's a bad look on the Texans. So I literally think that he won that game and they were like, fuck you. You just lost this number 1 pick. And we got to get rid of you now. That's hilarious, though. Like, he went balls to the wall. Did you see the missed interception on 4th and 21 that they scored a touchdown on? Like, you can't make that shit up. Their front office had to be kicking themselves at watching that football game.
Yeah. We're like, we lose fucking how many games this year, and the one we want to lose, we win.
Everything right has to happen, and you still win.
They can't win. I said the Texans will do everything they can to lose that game, and I absolutely was wrong. They did everything they could to win that game.
Yeah, that's funny.
Alrighty, and the playoff bracket has been revealed. Lots of good stuff coming into the playoffs here. Wild card weekend this weekend. But first, we want to tell you about a little new addition to the podcast. BetUS has joined us, and they have tons of exciting things to offer. Not only are they premier sportsbook here in the United States, offering odds on each and every game you're looking to bet on, but they offer casino games with live dealers and more. Now, we talk a lot about sports here on Hit the Books, but with BetUS and Hit the Books, you can get a 125% deposit match upon signing up through our link. Even more if you use crypto. With BetUS, you can place all the plays along... With BetUS, you can place all the plays you want along with the view stats, records, trends about each game, injury reports, and more. Join BetUS today and be sure to use our link in the description of the episode or in our social media accounts to join today. Very excited about that acquisition here moving forward with BetUS. Lots of good stuff to come from that. All right, let's jump into the wild card weekend. Also, before we get into the wild card weekend, don't forget about our giveaway on Instagram. Our first ever giveaway, giving away an official NFL jersey. All you got to do is do a couple things here on Instagram. Like and tag 3 friends in the post. Give us a follow and tell us which moneyline underdog that you think is going to hit this weekend. Jacksonville, Tampa, Giants, Baltimore, Seattle, and the Dolphins. Lots to go over this week. And I think it's time to jump into our games this week here in wild card weekend. I got some trends to get us going. Since 2013, unders are 51, 42, and 1 in playoff games, hitting it just over 54%. Since 2017, underdogs are 36 and 23 against the spread in playoff games, hitting an even 61%. Since 2013, underdogs are 23, 15, and 2 against the spread in wildcard games, hitting just over 60%, including 16 and 8 against the spread since 2017. With that, favorites were 5 and 1 against the spread last season in the wildcard games, and since 2012, unders are 30 and 14 in wildcard games, hitting there at 68%, including 6 and 8 since 2017. Some trends to get us going there for the wildcard weekend. But let's jump into this first game here on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. The Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. In this matchup, we have the 49ers favored at 9.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 500, and the over-under sitting at 42.5. For the second time in 2 weeks, Seattle is a double-digit underdog. It hasn't happened since 2011 before this. Seattle is 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games. The 49ers have won 10 games straight up, and they are 16 and 6 against the spread in their last 22. Huff, you want to get us going on this one, this Saturday midday game, 4:30 p.m.?
Yeah, I'll get us going here. Obviously, I look at this schedule and I think back in the glory days of the Seattle Seahawks about 10 years ago with the Legion of Boom going up against Michael Crabtree and the likes of those 49ers teams. And we're going to get a very different look at these two divisions here, or these two teams in this division here. In the wild card round, obviously Seattle coming in as the 7th seed, going to San Francisco as the 2 seed. Brock Purdy still hasn't lost a game as a starter. The Niners have everything going for them. That's why they have a 9.5 point spread here in this spot. The defense has done everything to deserve that. I think Seattle keeps it close here. I really think that when this line goes to 10, if it can get up to 10, I really like Seattle. I think they're able to maybe put points on the board early, hang around in the game. I do think the 49ers win the game, but too many people are kind of counting out this. I know it's kind of a Cinderella story of the Seattle Seahawks, and this run has been obviously very unpredictable. And I don't think they win the game, but I really think 10 points in a divisional game, let alone a playoff game, is a lot. And I really think the Seahawks are able to keep things close.
Yeah, Huff. I have the same thought process as you in this one. It's a divisional playoff game, so you can't really count any team out. But the Niners are my team to come out of the NFC this year. I really think the Niners are legit, and this defense can carry them to a Super Bowl this year, like they've done before, and they've carried them to a NFC Championship game last year. They just do enough every year, and it'll be enough this year, even with Brock Purdy at quarterback. Not taking anything away from Brock Purdy, but he's playing in his first playoff game, so you don't know what you're gonna see. But Geno Smith has done enough all year he's gotten to this spot. But I think this is where it ends. I think they do lose this game. I just think that it'll be close enough to where 10 points might be a little too much. So I do lean Seattle spread here, but I think the Niners will advance.
Yeah, Mac, you said you have them coming out of the NFC for you. I'd like to go a step further and announce this as my Super Bowl pick for this year. I do like the San Francisco 49ers. I know they have Mr. Irrelevant leading the charge, and the playoffs are a whole new beast, but I think this team front to back and their coaching staff and what their front office has done is ready for a Super Bowl. Best roster, in my opinion, top to bottom. They have all of their skilled players back, and yeah, they're due. This team's battle proven. They've been to the Super Bowl before. They've been to the NFC Championship. A lot of guys on that defense. And they brought in the big names on offense. I mean, they have Christian McCaffrey. That's going to be my play of the week, is him to get in the end zone in, what, is this his first career playoff game? Or maybe his second, if that? So I'm excited to see how he will fare in that one. He's been on a scoring streak. I think he's at like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. So
Do they have Debo back yet?
Yeah, Debo played last week too,
Okay.
and he looked fine. So he's at 100%. George Kittle's been on fire. Christian McCaffrey's been on fire. And that defense, we know what that defense has. So 9.5 points. You guys are right. It's going to be a tight one. I think Geno Smith can put points on the board. Not a lot, but enough to keep it tight against San Francisco, who's going to play it close to the vest and win this one. I take the 49ers to advance for sure, and McCaffrey to get in the end zone. But further than that, I'm not too sure on what I'm looking at for this one.
All right, boys, good stuff there in that 4:30 matchup here on Saturday. Let's jump into our 8 p.m. game on Saturday, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chargers come in as our favorite here at minus 2.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 126, and the over-under sitting at 47.5. The trends I got for this matchup are that the Jaguars are 2-10 against the spread in their last 12 games against the Chargers. The Chargers are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games on the road. And the Chargers have covered 5 in a row at Jacksonville. Lots of good stuff looking towards the Chargers here in Jacksonville. What do we think is going to happen? Chargers getting 2.5 points. Mackie, let's shoot it over to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm on the Jags here. I really like the Jags in this situation. I like them as a home team. I think Doug Peterson's a better coach. It's two coaches, or not two coaches, who are first team, but it's Doug Peterson and the Jags' first playoff appearance against Brandon Staley, who's maybe played in one playoff game. I don't even know if he has.
He hasn't.
But yeah, so I like the experience here in Doug Peterson. He's seen a Super Bowl already. Trevor Lawrence is rolling right now. 5 straight wins. They won a winner go home game last week against Tennessee. A little closer than we expected, but at the end of the day, they got the job done, and I really like them on their home field this year. Justin Herbert and this team is just underachieving this year, and I don't think they go very far in this playoffs. I know a lot of people are saying this team reminds them of Joe Burrow and the Bengals last year, but I just don't see it. I don't think they got it. I think they're gonna find a way to lose this game, like they've done the past few years. Same Chargers team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a hotly contested game. 2 high-flying offenses and some underwhelming defenses. Oh, but they have some skill on that defensive side of the ball, though, so look for some big plays. But a lot of air yards, I'm guessing. I know that it's 2 inexperienced teams, so I'm guessing the coaches will try and get that run game going at first, in which case the Chargers are favored, and that wagon of Austin Eckler can get into the end zone. But yeah, I like a shootout here. I like a lot of points. I'm gonna like the over here of 47.5, which is crazy to say in a playoff game. But I think I'm on the same side of Mackey for the same exact reasons with Doug Peterson at the helm. I like the Jaguars to come out on top at home and get into a nice little shootout with Patrick Mahomes in the following week. So yeah, I'm going with the Jags here. I think it will be a great game to watch. This is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be back and forth all game long, but the home team's going to get done. Trevor Lawrence, proven winner. Great guy to close out the field for this year's playoffs too. I mean, the AFC has a strong quarterback grouping. Huff, are you on the same side as us with that Jaguars money line pick?
I want to be, but I'm not. I actually like the Chargers in this spot. I think a lot of people are overlooking them right now, and the Jaguars in this situation, they're kind of been a hot team coming into the playoffs, a team that a lot of people have their eyes on for the spot that they're in the playoffs. They get the home playoff game. I think there's a lot of pressure on them, not necessarily to win this specific game, but moving forward, I think this is a really big game for what that team has going on in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson that you guys are saying. He has the experience that he's been there before and done that. Obviously won the Super Bowl in Philadelphia. I just think Justin Herbert's going to be the better quarterback in this game, and I think he's really going to show why he was drafted in the first round. I know Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 overall pick, but I think Herbert is going to show the ability that, why he's compared to some of these other really young stars. And Lawrence just kind of got in that conversation this year with his play over the past couple of weeks, but I like Herbert. I like Eckler here. I think the Chargers come into Jacksonville and get the job done. I saw a 1.5 point spread or one. I just like the Chargers money line. I think I saw minus 125. But I am on the Chargers. I do have that Chargers Super Bowl ticket, so I am going to ride the Chargers here.
There's a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah, and they're getting their guys back. I really like what they're doing here. And the thing I keep coming back to is that Jacksonville kind of obliterated the Chargers earlier on in the season whenever they were very injured and had a lot less players. So I look for the Chargers to come to Jacksonville and give them a run for their money and see if they can bounce back off that regular season loss that happened in SoFi.
Two things I'd like to say, though, about this game before we move on. Did you guys see last week the Chargers, they rolled their starters out there all game in a meaningless contest, and Keenan Allen ended with like 120 plus and 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I saw Mike Williams got a little bit banged up last week too, so we'll have to see what happens with him. But they've gotten the job done. But number of receivers all year, I kept outing Josh Palmer and Guyton, and Carter. They just have guys that they keep throwing in, and when
if
you got a guy like, go ahead.
You got no. You're right with that for sure. Didn't mean to cut you off, but one interesting thing that I think we could talk about is if they do go on to win this game, I personally lean for the favorites in the other matchup, so they'd be the only wild card that could get through. I think they have the best chance, obviously being the top wild card. That makes sense. But if they do, and that does become the case, then they would be playing their divisional opponent, who they see twice a year and had tight games with. And we all get that matchup. Herbert's a primetime quarterback. We all know that. Like, people want to see these studs go head to head. Like, if you can get Mahomes, Herbert, and Burrow, Allen, I mean, that would be something to see.
I really like the Chargers path that they have. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, tough one though. Tough one on the road. Always tough on the road.
It is. But what I was gonna say, like back to what I was saying about those receivers, it all comes back to who's throwing the ball. When you got a guy like number 10 back there who can sling it, I know we haven't seen it in a playoff game, but that's with a lot of these other guys. We haven't seen it with Purdy or Geno Smith. So a lot of new guys in these playoffs this year. So we're gonna have to see what Herbert can do.
I think it's going to be a great matchup there Saturday at 8 p.m. We'll see what happens there. Let's move forward to Sunday. The 1 o'clock matchup this week is the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are the heavy favorite here at 13.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 800, and the over-under sitting at 43.5. The trends I got here are that the Bills are 10-1 straight up in their last 11 at home against Miami. The Dolphins are 12-4-1 against the spread in their last 17. And the Bills are 16-3 straight up in their last 19 divisional games. Let's send it over to Ace for our first Sunday game, Dolphins and Bills. What do you think, Ace?
I think this is going to be a great game. I'm very excited to watch it. 2 AFC East opponents going at it, so they know each other quite well. I think they split the season series. And, yeah, I mean, the Dolphins did all they could to get to this spot. All year long, they were one of the better teams. We were all pretty high on them. Thought they had a good offense. And with the injury problems they've gone through at quarterback, it's kind of put a deterrent on that. But yeah, they gave it all they could. Didn't even score a touchdown last week and clinched the playoffs, winning 9-6, knocking out Huff, Steelers, and my Patriots. But I mean, I think they gave it their all just to get here last week. We saw Tyreek Hill banged up. He's their best playmaker. They have no Teddy B or Tua. Well, Teddy B's on the fence. I know Tua's been ruled out. But if they can get Teddy, that's a huge lift. But if not, Skylar Thompson's going to have a tough day against a Buffalo defense in Buffalo. I think the Bills are just flying high and doing everything right, and they're on a path to success. They were everybody's preseason pick. 13's a ton for a playoff game, though, especially divisional opponents. If anything, I'd like to see this game stay a little bit closer than that, and I think it will. I mean, I don't have a lean yet on this. What are you guys thinking here?
I'm definitely leaning on the Bills here. I don't like an 11.5-point spread, and obviously it just keeps getting steeper and steeper. But I just don't see the Bills losing this game with Skylar Thompson under center for the Dolphins. And like you said, I know Bridgewater's questionable, but assuming Skylar Thompson's there, I like the Bills in this spot. I think Josh Allen has a way with them, and I know their defense is kind of giving him troubles, but I think the Bills are playing for something bigger with obviously the news with DeMar, and he's now back up in Buffalo. I think when they show a video of him up on the billboard in Buffalo, that stadium's going to be rocking, and I could see 7-14-0 Bills very quick in that game.
A little Naeem Hines action?
Yeah, maybe again. That was crazy. Literally first play since that game got canceled.
Yeah,
two of them in that game.
Almost like it was scripted.
Yeah, if it was three, we would have been saying that.
I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, dude, this Bills team is just too good right now. They're proving week after week. They're covering high spreads, covering an 8.5-point spread last week. Covered a 10-point spread the week before, I think. This team's just playing incredible football, and they have a lot to play for, even more now after obviously what happened with DeMar Hamlin. And I just think this Miami team is not good. I mean, they were good to start the season. They had things going, and you have all these quarterback implications. And now you have Skylar Thompson starting a playoff game. I think we were definitely better off seeing either the Pats or the Steelers in this situation or in this game.
That's what I said. I was so pissed about that. I was like, even if the Steelers didn't make it, I'd at least rather see the Patriots because I think they put up a better fight than this Dolphins team.
The worst team out of the three definitely got in this situation, and I'll be very surprised if this game is within 14 points. I think the Bills definitely cover the spread. Miami played like shit last week, scored 6 points and won a football game. I think it was 6 points, something like that.
5 points actually with that crazy 2-point safety to kill the spread. Jesse had him plus 3.5. That was killer.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. But the offense scores 6 points. It's just ridiculous. I don't see this team doing anything this week. I think the Bills will swallow them. I don't care. It's a divisional matchup. I think the Dolphins are bad now that they have Skylar Thompson under center.
Yes, can Skylar Thompson do it for the Dolphins this week? We will see come Sunday, 1 o'clock. Next matchup is the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings here Sunday at 4:30 p.m. The Vikings are the favorite here at -3. Their money line sitting at -164 and the over-under sitting at 48.5. The trends I got for this one are that the Giants are 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games. The Vikings are 15-0 straight up in their last 15 games as the favorite. The Giants are 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games on the road, 28-12 against the spread in their past 40 on the road. But the Giants have lost 5 in a row at Minnesota. Mackie, Huff, let's send it over to you for this one. The Giants and the Vikings at 4:30 on Sunday.
Yeah, obviously we've seen this matchup earlier on in the season when the Giants went up there and gave the Vikings a pretty good run for their money, and they won on a pretty crazy last-second field goal off the foot of Greg Joseph. And the Vikings' ability to win these one-score games all year is going to be put to test in these playoff matchups, and I think that's why you see this 3-point spread, even 3. A lot of people were saying it should be bigger, it should be 4, it should be 5. The Vikings are just winning every game by a field goal. Even like you look at this line, you think it should be that. The fact that the Giants are getting 3 points, I don't know. It kind of tells me that Vegas obviously likes Minnesota to win this game, but I don't know. I wish I could have the hook. I might buy the hook, but I like the Giants plus the 3.5 points, 3 points, however you want to take it. I think they're able to maybe bounce back off of the kind of tough breaks they got in the end of that game where they kind of let Kirk Cousins come back and with the big shots late in the game. I like the Giants. I like what Dable's been doing. I think this is another one of those kind of Cinderella stories that are going to kind of live to see another week. Whether I push on this, but they lose by a field goal, I think that's why I'd buy the 0.5 point. But I'm going to take the Giants with the points.
Yeah, you guys have been high on the Giants all year, but I think it's crazy. I know that this is the weakest 2 seed or 3 seed, I should say, of like the last few years. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings are pretty fraudulent. We've looked at the statistics that say like they've won so many one-score games, and if they didn't, they'd be a top pick in this year's NFL draft. But I think they get the job done at home this week. That offense is too good. They can put up way too many points. I think Justin Jefferson has a day in his first career playoff game. Yeah, his first career playoff game, and I think Dalvin Cook, they're going to lean on him. It's going to be Cook versus Barkley, but then when you look outside of that, the Vikings have a lot more to offer on offense. Kirk has been here before. I do like them, and they're lucky enough it's Sunday at 4:30, so it's not a primetime game for the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's better than any seeding is their time slot of the week. So I think Kirk Cousins actually has a good game, and we'll see Justin Jefferson grittying around. You'll see Justin Jefferson touchdown on my card, but I like the -3 as well this week. Mackie, where are you thinking? You going with the Giants or the Vikes?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Giants here. I really like this Giants team. I think they're playing some pretty good football as of late. I know they're not really getting the wins against the better teams. They have a loss against the Eagles, and they lost that Vikings game, obviously. But they're hanging in with the better teams, and the wins that they are getting, they're commanding wins, and they're much needed wins. I just like Daniel Jones' play this year, and obviously Saquon Barkley, no complaints on him. I just think they've already seen this team. It's very hard to beat a team twice in the same year, especially when they're not divisional opponents, so you're not used to it. I really like the Giants to get it done here. This Giants team, we've seen a team like this before, and they went on to win a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl this year, but I think they're definitely competitors, and they can get a few wins in this pretty weak NFC conference this year. I think they have a really good chance to win a few games, and I think that this is one where they definitely are on the right end this year. Greg Joseph isn't hitting a 61-yarder to win this one.
Good stuff there, boys, out of that 4:30 matchup. Let's move forward to the primetime game on Sunday. The Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. We got the Bengals as the favorite here at 8.5 points. Their money line sitting at -390, and the over-under sitting at 40.5. The trends I got here, the Bengals are 20-4 against the spread in their last 24 games, 17-4 against the spread in their last 21 conference games, and the Ravens are 18-4-1 against the spread in their last 23 games as the underdog. It's a pretty good trend there for the Ravens, 18-4-1 against the spread in their last 23 games as the underdog. What do we think they can do this week? Mackie, you want to start us off here? Ravens and Bengals. Ace, let's send it over to you. What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Yeah, I think this is going to be another great contest. What's nice is we see another divisional matchup in the first round of the playoffs, and we get to see it on Sunday Night Football nonetheless. I know those Bengals are hungry, and Joe Burrow's walking around with all that swag, but I really think Lamar Jackson is going to be healed up and ready to go, and he's going to rejuvenate that whole offense. I like them getting 9 points this week. I don't know if I'm gutsy enough to take a money line, as I think they're one of the best teams when Lamar plays. He's just an X factor like that, but I do like them getting 9 points here. That's 2 possessions in a divisional game. In the prime time, and the way that the Ravens play football, every game is a one-score game, it seems like. And Justin Tucker, with the leg of his, they'll be getting points on the board at least every drive. And Roquan Smith has been an unsung hero, really. I mean, he just got the bag. He got, 5 years, $100 million. He's really going to be carrying the load on that defense. I think it's going to be tougher sledding for Joe Burrow than he really thinks, even though his whole career. I agree with that statement, but I think 9 points to the Ravens this week is way too much, and definitely give that to me. And who knows? Maybe I'll send a half a unit on the Ravens money line this week. I do think Baltimore gives them a run for their money here.
I'm right on the same side. I like the Ravens with the points here. I think same reasons I've said. I like usually whenever you have a divisional matchup in the playoffs, I like to take the underdog as they keep things close. I usually say that for most divisional games, just take the points. I could see the Ravens kind of upset them here, but I think they'll keep it close with the 8.5 points. I like them to lose this game by maybe 4. I don't know. A lot of people got their eyes on the Bengals right now, and a home playoff game, you got a lot of pressure coming up against maybe Tyler Huntley, maybe Lamar Jackson. You don't really know what's coming out of Baltimore, so I don't know. I like the Ravens with the points here. I think you might see an interesting AFC North matchup here.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same side as you guys. I think this is definitely going to be a really good game, but I don't know. I like the Bengals to definitely advance. I think Joe Burrow is someone who is elite, and he has that extra
that dog in him.
bone in it. He's got that dog in him, and he wins games like these where he's supposed to win, especially in the playoffs. Even if Lamar plays, I think it'll be closer. Even without him, I think it'll still be a close game. I mean, these teams played last week, and Bengals won by 11 points. So you got the playoff atmosphere, and you got the primetime aspect of it. So I think it'll definitely be within 10 points, within 9. What is that? 8.5. Within 8.5 points. But I do think the Bengals will advance.
Another great matchup here with two young phenoms at quarterback, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. So I'm excited to see this.
Dude, signs are pointing towards him not playing. So
I bet you he gets it out. I'm hoping he does.
We'll see.
If not, it's got to be Tyler Huntley. Let's see the latest thing. He wasn't practicing Wednesday. An uphill battle to play in Sunday's game.
They don't think Lamar's playing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not, to be honest.
Let me read Tyler Huntley news real
It's
quick.
AFC North football. Take the points.
Yeah, just the way that defense is playing, and even without him, I mean, they're going to drain the clock even more. It's just going to be a run fest all day. And then hopefully they can get Mark Andrews more involved.
Bengals score points, man. It's hard to slow them down.
Huntley was playing today. We're practicing today, I should say. It's important.
You said it, Ace. Another good matchup here on the slate. Let's jump into our final game of the wild card weekend. Monday, 8 p.m., the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a matchup that we've seen many, many times. The Dallas Cowboys are the favorite here at 2.5 points. Their money line sitting at minus 136, and the over-under sitting at 45.5. The Bucs are 9-2 straight up in their last 11 games played in January. 2-12-1 against the spread in their last 15. The Cowboys are 2-13 against the spread in their last 15 in January. 10-2 straight up in their last 12 Monday night road games. Mackie, take it away. Final game of the wildcard weekend. Your Cowboys are the favorite here in Tampa. What do you think?
This is such a Dallas situation to be in. I'll be biased. I do think we win this game, and I think the only reason you would take the Buccaneers in this situation is if you're going off Tom Brady history. And I mean, granted, that's a good thing to go off of. I'm not saying you're a dumb for it, but
there's another point. Tom Brady history and the Dallas Cowboys history in the wild card round.
Dude, I saw like 5 things. Ace, you liked it on Twitter. It was like 5 check marks to why Dallas will lose this game. But I do the odds all against them, backs up against the wall. Let's see what Dak Prescott can do. I really think we can gut out a win here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers cannot run the football. They cannot get anything going offensively. If we can just do what we need to do in the first half of this game, obviously Tom Brady's never out of a football game, but if you can make this a 2-3 possession game, our defense is good enough to stop them and hold on to a lead. I really think we win this game. I think we cover, and I think against all odds, man, it's this Cowboys team. Let's see what we can do. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this game, but I think we win. I think we pull it out.
I have 2 sides of this game. So part of me thinks basically kind of like what you said, all the stereotypes where it's like, oh, go against Cowboys in the first round, Tom Brady history in the playoffs, home underdog, take Brady. And I want to lean on the Bucs, but then I said a couple weeks ago, this game, if it did happen, and obviously we are looking at it right now with a 3-point spread, this kind of reminds me of last year when the Rams kind of had their way with that Bucs team. And I don't know. I think the Cowboys are able to get the job. Like, I see both sides of it. So this is going to be a game. I don't know if I'm going to have a pick on it. It's the only game on Monday, so I'm definitely going to probably have a play on it. Leaning spread, it's definitely tough and who's going to win this game. But because I can see both ways, I'm going to have to see where the money ends up going, obviously leaning up until Monday. It's a tough spot. That's why they give you the 3-point spread. And last year, the 49ers went to Jerry's World and were a 3-point underdog. I took the Niners, and obviously that one worked out for me. But we'll have to see what happens this week. And, in Tampa. Obviously, Monday Night Football, the lights are on. Cowboys, Bucks. I could see both ways, Ace. I'm interested to see where you're going, but I kind of tend to know where you're leaning on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say 2 words: Tom Brady. But yeah, seeing him at plus in the playoffs, you gotta love to see that. I've made a living off of that. I feel like in the past, ever since I've started really taking bets, I've ridden Tom Brady and his success. Plus that Bucks team has really been clicking as of late. It's about time you see that. Mike Evans is going to be a problem for them, especially going against Trayvon Diggs. That's a tough matchup if there ever was one for him. And let's think about it. That Dallas Cowboys defense, we've been tooting that horn all year long. That's a great defense, but what do they get their success from? Pressure. And what does Tom Brady know how to deal with throughout his career is commanding the pocket and pre-play adjustment to beat pressure. So with a weaker secondary, I think that might be an issue for them. But Mackey's right. If they can't get that ground game going, they fall behind quick, then it's going to be a tough day. But the thing I really look at is the struggles of Dak Prescott lately. He's looked actually awful as of late. And I think it's going to be a tough day to go running against that Tampa Bay defense. So when it comes down to it, I'm taking Brady over Prescott in the playoffs every time. And the fact that they're in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay really makes me lean them. I'm going to definitely put this on the card. You will see Bucks money line. I think Tom Brady gets it done some way, somehow. And I think there's a stat that said the last few years of Tom Brady doesn't win Super Bowl, win Super Bowl, doesn't win Super Bowl, win Super Bowl. So we're due for one here. And in a year where it's no clear-cut favorite and there's a lot of parity amongst the league, give me Tom Brady in the prime time Monday night.
Huff, just one thing. What did I say about 6 weeks ago when I said we're going to see Dallas go into Tampa Bay in the first round of the playoffs? Said spread. What did I say the spread was going to be at? We both said around 2.5 points.
And what do we have? 3.
Mackey,
2.5.
Once it's terrible to be the 5 seed. You wish you could have grabbed that 6 seed somehow.
No, I was saying, I've been saying since it was set up, I was like, this is a recipe for disaster in Dallas. But let's see what we can do. Backs up against the wall, Dak. You have so much hate on you right now. If you want to be anything, this is the game to win.
Needs some timely catches by his receivers instead of dropping it into the other team's hands. A lot of blame.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. He still hasn't been good though.
Agreed. Give me Brady riding the hot hand. He's feeling it. Mike Evans locking that first touchdown score. Huff.
That might be what I'm looking at for Monday night.
Clowns, all you guys clowns.
Mackey, at the end of your take at the beginning with this Cowboys-Bucks game, it did not make me sound too confident in the hopes of the Cowboys this week. Even their fans are imploding.
Dude, I'm being a Cowboys fan. How am I supposed to trust this team to win this football game?
You know what's the scariest part is? It's like the Bucks aren't even good, but Tom Brady gets into their head a week before, and they're like, "Oh, jeez,
dude, the Bucks are such a bad football team."
Put the 7 rings on the table. Come out and play another one to get one. Like, what are you going to do?
Real quick, before we get out of here, that's obviously the last game of the wild card. I kind of want to get an official Super Bowl pick from everyone. Not necessarily something you're taking, or might be something you're taking once you hear the odds on it, but maybe like a value play and one that you actually could think could happen. Maybe who you think is coming out of the AFC, who you think is coming out of the NFC, that kind of deal. So I'm just going to rip through some of the Super Bowl odds that I have for outright Super Bowl champion. Kansas City Chiefs are the favorite at plus 330. Buffalo Bills plus 390. Philadelphia Eagles plus 500. San Francisco 49ers plus 500. Cincinnati Bengals plus 750. Dallas Cowboys plus 1300. Los Angeles Chargers plus 2100. Tampa Bay Bucks plus 2800. Vikings plus 3000. Ravens plus 5,000. Jags 5,000. Giants 5,500, Seahawks 8,500, and the Miami Dolphins rounding things out at plus 10,000.
So my pick for the championship winner this year is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes gets it done this year. He gets another ring on his finger, just another add to his legacy that he's going to have close to Tom Brady's by the end of his career, in my opinion. But my value play, I can't believe that the New York Giants are sitting at plus 5,500 behind teams like the Jags. Like, I think this team has incredible value at plus 5,500. I think this team in a weak NFC can find a way to come out of this conference and then maybe get lucky in a Super Bowl. We've seen crazier things happen, but yeah, that's my value play for this Super Bowl. I think the New York Giants plus 5,500 is a crazy number.
Yeah, I know exactly who I'm going to say. I've been saying it all year. The San Francisco 49ers are my Super Bowl pick. Said it earlier on the pod, but lock that one as my Super Bowl pick. On the other hand, my value play is definitely the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, it's Tom Brady. How else do you count him out? And when's the last time you saw this much value on him with so much skill around them and getting a home game to start it off in a weekend of and inexperienced NFC? And once you get there, who knows what can happen? But to come out of the AFC, I'm liking the Chiefs like Mackie. I mean, they're the team to beat, and all these other teams have a lot of question marks and inexperience. So, give me either a Bucks Chiefs or a Niners Chiefs rematch. I think we're gonna see a rematch in the Super Bowl this year.
All right. So here's mine. Obviously, my value play. I have the ticket. The Chargers. I have them with plus 2,200. They're 2,100 here if you buy in now. I like their playoff matchup this week against the Jags, and Ace, you alluded to it. If they both win, I like their matchup in a divisional matchup against against the Chiefs. But don't want to look ahead. Got to get past Jacksonville first. That's gonna be my value play. And then no one said it. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills. I thought that sounded like obviously the Chiefs get the 1 seed, but I think the Bills are playing for something more, and I like their matchup as well. I think this is the year that they can get the job done against the Chiefs, or might not even have to play the Chiefs if things go out the way I want it to, and maybe get a Chargers-Bills AFC Championship up in Buffalo or neutral site, wherever it's going to be. But and then my Super Bowl matchup that I think we could get is either Bills or Chargers against the 49ers. I think the 49ers come out of the NFC. I think that defense is able to get the job done throughout the midst of the playoffs and against teams like the Eagles and the Vikings, whoever they have to end up playing. I like the 49ers come out of the NFC. But Mackie, like you said, plus 5,500 on this Giants team, I definitely think that's worth a little sprinkle. Maybe I don't know what, but 5,500, like you said, I think they could win this week, and then once you get in the divisional round, anything can happen.
Yeah, man, history repeats itself.
All right, I'm going to throw a little pick in. I was kind of debating between the 49ers and the Bills because I think the 49ers might be able to make a stretch, but I think Bills are the call here. For a value pick, I think I got to go with the Bucks. I think if the Bucks get past the Cowboys, I think that Tom Brady is going to be like, oh, I turned it on, I'm on, and he's just going to go. So I think we're going to see
I can see that.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild playoff.
2,800 on him is insane.
I think that's wild, but we're going to see
like
here.
Mackie said, they can't
The
run the
Bucks are terrible. Even if they get past the Cowboys, they are not winning another game.
They can't run.
They're
They just
just
can't
a
run the ball.
terrible
A lot of
football.
inexperience on the.
It's just a terrible football team.
Sorry,
We'll have
Mackie.
to see. That's why they play the games.
Give me Niners Chiefs rematch and let Kyle Shanahan take home the Lombardi this year.
Chargers, Niners, Battle of California.
That'd be sweet.
Jay Herbo.
Alrighty, I think that's just going to about do it here for the Wild Card Weekend episode of Hit the Books. Be sure to check out our BetUS promotion that we're offering, 125% deposit match, as well as our Instagram giveaway for a jersey here for any of the betting, or make sure to select your underdog that you think is going to win here this weekend in the Wild Card Weekend. Playoff brackets also, we're thinking about releasing those on Instagram, one for each of us, so make sure to tune in for those as well as our picks each and every night. But that's all I got. You guys got anything else to add?
Yeah, and one thing about the giveaway, I don't know if we clarified this, but one thing we can speak on here is that obviously there's a chance that multiple people pick a winning underdog if two teams win. Like, say I take the Giants and Mackie takes the Jaguars and we both win. We do all the things, that we put in the rules for the giveaway. Then the accounts that pick winning picks and do all the things necessary to enter the giveaway, they'll be entered into a randomizer. Jesse, how would you want to say it?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Picks a comment out of the post itself. Doesn't have much entry on us.
So yeah, just couple things that go into it. Obviously, all the rules are pretty simple in the post, but just wanted to clarify that if we do have any two underdog teams or more that end up winning. So what would happen with all those people? So yeah, That's going to be it. Obviously, like we said earlier on, NHL card's been rolling. NBA card got back going tonight for a 2-0 night on Monday. College basketball, we've been keeping rolling too. So we have 4 sports absolutely in mid to prime action right now. Obviously, the NFL playoffs getting kicked off this weekend. 6 games. Stay tuned for the NFL playoff cards this week, as well as all the other nightly sports. That is going to do it for me this week. We will see you guys next week to recap this wild card weekend and the look ahead of the NFL playoffs. It's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, just looking forward to a good playoffs. Obviously, it's good every year, but should be a good one this year. Just picks will be announced. Just stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely excited for this final stretch here in the playoffs. It should be some great games, great matchups, and all the other sports. Like they said, follow the giveaway. Hopefully you win. Good luck, and follow our weekly cards. You know, we got the NHL, NBA, and NCAA basketball going heavy. So ready to roll, boys.
And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here, so please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.